Hey, it's Uncle Joe with Uncle Joe Hikes. We're here at Unicoi. Gonna do a short hike over to Helen from here. It's the Unicoi Helen Trail. And it's only maybe a little over 4 miles round trip. Yeah, I'm not really doing a lot of miles lately, but you know, it's December. It's hard to get out early in the morning. But it's a nice trail. It's been a long time since I've been up here. We'll have to maybe talk about that later. But anyway, here we go. Thought I'd chronicle this trail. It's been a long time since I've been up here on this trail. I've done, I believe, parts of this trail when it was open for mountain biking. I don't know that it still is. It may be. Somebody can correct me. I think back in the day too, part of this trail was used in the old mountain biking nationals. If not the national, the world finals. I don't remember what it was. There was a big event held up here back in the day. So anyway, we're gonna hike it. We'll get down here along this creek. I think we follow the creek side for quite some time, actually. Yeah, follow the blazes. If you follow that sign, you would think that you would turn here when clearly you don't. So, oh well. Let me jump out on the road here. Go way across. It's an old trail coming in there from the right. We'll stay on the well-trodden marked trail. I'm not sure what this plant is. It does appear to be an evergreen plant because otherwise it would have already dropped leaves. Something just made a bunch of noise right over there. And I was thinking while I was walking through here, there's been bear sightings on this trail. And that's, besides being proximity to the national forest, of course, and being a state park, you know, I should say, because it's a state park, probably has a lot to do with it, right? Because, you know, bears like to come down to the parks and see what people are packing, and you know, if they've done it once, and they'll do it from then on. So anyway, it was big, probably a bear. It's a little chilly. You'd think they'd be sleeping, but this time of year they're kind of up and down, I think. But yeah, it was a big crash. Probably saw me walking and decided to turn up the hillside. And anyway, it's gone now. We're coming to our turn here for the loop. So yeah, that's the bottoms loop, goes that way. We won't go that way. We'll give that, whatever that was, a wide berth. Whatever it's berthing. We'll keep on, make our way down to Helen. So those ladies there have a little dog, and they're just about to make that turn. And I was advising them they might want to pick up the dog, and when they make that turn, wait till they get around the corner, because of the, it was likely a bear. It was very large. Could have been a deer. They make a lot of noise too, but given that they've been seen on this trail before, I wouldn't be surprised. So I said, make sure you pick him up until you make that turn. And the other girl said, well, maybe you won't make that turn after all. But I'm sure they'll be fine. I mean, he was getting away from me, so he'd be getting away from them. I don't think he wants anything to do with people today, whatever it was. Anyway, I want to give them a heads up because they had a little dog, so and I would have either way. You know, I don't want them to get eaten either. You know. Anyway, moving along. So when you come out of here, you're going to be tempted to go there. That's an old trail. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is keep moving along the side of this field. Sadly, there's no blazes, but we can see there the other side of the field's a trail. Bear aware. This tells us we're going the right way. There's some casual warnings. Several folks have already come through here this morning. We're real close to Helen, so you know it's going to be a popular and well-trodden trail. But you know, I see a lot of people in the forums and pages and stuff in the hiking groups on Facebook that look for something beginner that they can come do, and this is one of them. It's beautiful scenery. Not a lot of climbing. This is not going to have anything that's, when you look at the profile, you'll think, oh, there's some spikes on that profile, but keep in mind they're only 100 feet or so high. So this is just not going to be a difficult trail for most people. And yet they can come up and spend the day in Helen, knock this out in just a couple hours or so, have a good experience on the trail, encourage them to do more. That's what it's all about. Yeah, you won't be sitting on that bench anytime soon. Yeah, there's the Bottoms Trail. This is the trail to Helen. We continue on. Okay, so this is looking a little bit familiar. This is the bike trail. This goes on to Helen. So we may not have ridden this, or at least certainly not all of it. I don't know how much they opened up for that particular race. That field back there looked real familiar to me though. But I also seem to recall a larger field that we went across. But either way, this looks familiar to me though. I don't remember a bridge being this large. I remember coming across a bridge and turning because we didn't go, or didn't want to go up into the park proper. The trails, you know, the bike routes stayed out here in the woods, so that may be what we're on now. Anyway, memory's not so good. And I only rode it once. I never came back up here to ride it again. I know that we dumped out in a neighborhood up by the fest hall, and I don't think this trail that I'm on right now is going to do that, but I do remember that that was the case, and they had to descend a good bit before they dumped out on that pavement. So, and that's on the east side, northeast side of town. So anyway, it's not important to what we're doing, but and yeah, it's trying to recollect. And we come back out again, another piece of the bike trail. So the bike trail clearly shares this little portion, comes down here and forks off, and yeah, we move on up. A little bit of a hill here and follow our little red diamonds. The trail's marked well in some places, and in other places they don't have these diamonds out, so just keep aware of that. Well, we got a bona fide switchback here. You can see a red blaze over there. Judging by this draw, we're going to make a turn up here at the end of the draw. A little bit of climbing, but this is really gradual. Even those switchbacks back there were really moderate. No reason a beginner can't do this. Well, another trail crossing. Yeah, that may be one of the trails that we zipped down, this bicycle trail. As we keep moving. So about the last 10 days, I think officially 8, the sun hasn't shone until yesterday and today. Now there's been peaks, you know, where it peak out the cloud for maybe a few minutes. Otherwise it's been rainy and overcast, and back-to-back days of rain. It's just been destroying my mental state. You just get so down and all your motivation gets sucked out of you. It's just amazing what just being in the sun alone can do. Got another crossing of the bike trail here. We keep on moving. Yep. Lots of areas chewed up with mud, just water stands in there. It's been, like I said, so rainy. I think crazy rain. Just drizzly days. So blessed to see the sun. Look at there. Actually got a bench that's still in place. That's good. Little boardwalk. Make a hook right here. So yeah, it looks like the bike trail will stay on one side of the creek and we'll walk the other side. It's hard to tell from the camera, but right there's a huge rock face drop. It's probably, I don't know if that's a 10, yeah, it's easily more than 10. So it's a proper falls. There's just not enough water coming over it. You see there, and it drops down a good bit. I don't know why water's not flowing heavy right now, because like I said, we've had a ton of rain, but maybe it's all done drained out. There's a trickle. Lots of trees down back here. Somewhat recent storm. There's been storms through here. Hurricane just a few years ago, many years ago, probably a decade, or I guess by now it's been much longer than that. You're getting old, Joe. Yeah, I know. I can remember a tornado coming through Helen. Helen used to have a lot more trees close to town. It gave it a lot more of a nestled feeling. And I want to say just before the Nationals maybe, tornado came through and it did a lot of damage. Took out a lot of trees. I remember driving up here and just seeing how open the town looked and just being like, wow. I can remember it being so intimate, you know. That tornado did a lot of damage. That was many years ago. And subsequent storms, of course. Anyway, dumping out on the road here. There you are, no bikes. All right, I didn't see a single bike. We came out right up there, and we'll duck back into at least a little bit of trail. Stay off the road right there. This may not get quite the traffic that, I'm sure the road, a lot of people probably just dump right out on the road. We're gonna stay properly on the trail. Looks like some others have too, so that's a good sign. The size of these leaves, I mean, it's got to be some kind of a holly. Awfully big leaves. I've never seen anything like that before. I don't know if it's been introduced or natural. Probably introduced. Well, we've plopped unceremoniously out into Helen. Beautiful cabin over there. Some beautiful places here in Helen. It's very much a touristy town if you've never been. It's kind of like, I don't know, 1/10 of a Gatlinburg, you might say, but there's really only one way through town. Consequently, it gets backed up like a kid eating cheese toast, if you know what I'm saying. It can take you a long time to get through this town on a Saturday. So the whole town has this sort of alpine village theme to it. Lots of German themed, German restaurants and things like that. But there's also the waft of tourist food in the air. You can smell a mixture of treats and food, much like you would at a circus, which, with all due respect to Helen, is somewhat of an apt description of this town. It can be anyway. Especially people come up from Atlanta and like to hang out. I believe you can get to the park up through here somewhere. Yeah, Unicoi Hill Park. Sounds like a good place to take a little break. Make a little love. No, I'm not making any love. Other than loving a rest and our snack. This is kind of the back of the park. This looks like where the trail proper used to start. And that's where we'll duck in. We came out and went that way before. Oh, we'll come up here. Head on back. As I said earlier, as you start getting close to Helen, you start getting this waft of food cooking. Those are like the wine connoisseurs like to say, I got notes of funnel cake and hot dog in the air. And that kind of is a apt description, really. Anyway, I gotta get up there to that little road and then skirt the side of it and back into the woods. Well, them two trees there are in love, buddy. I'll twist it up. Lacey Caleb. Must be Lacey and Caleb. I don't know. I wonder if they lasted as long as them two trees has. Pretty crazy. We're working our way on the side slope here. Did a zigzag, just one switchback to get up here, and then we'll have a couple to get back down yonder. This is actually that draw, the end of that draw, and then we'll work our way around that way. This trail's got some personality, you know. You kind of start creek side a little bit, coming down into the creek bottom, and then go out across that field. Well, I was rudely interrupted by my battery going dead, but we're working our way off this side slope. It's really the only real climbing on this whole trail other than coming back from Helen. You have to climb up a road, alongside a road, but we'll have a couple of switchbacks at one point. We got another draw, it looks like, here. But this is really the only climbing part. You have to climb up to this side slope and then back down as you approach Helen, but actually as you approach the crossing, the last crossing with the bike trail. But all in all, not a difficult trail by any stretch. I think most anyone could do this who is otherwise able to hike 2.5, 3 miles or so. Of course, this would be 4, maybe a little more round trip, but if you were camping up this way at Unicoi or staying at the lodge, you could hike into Helen and enjoy your day and come back, and wouldn't have really too strenuous of a day. Well, we're back at our field. We can see the lodge actually. We work our way back across here and into the woods. Well, we crossed our road. Make our way back down here and behind this maintenance lot here. Getting closer. Well, if you wonder where they store all the paddle boats, there they are. A little trail will take you up to the lodge. We're just going to follow the road again like we did coming in. I think that's going to take you up to the top there. We didn't park up there, so. And over there it takes you over to the camping area. A lot of cabins and stuff over there. You can also take a trail out of there. It goes back to the Anaruby Falls. I think it's Smith Creek Trail. It's really the way to go. I mean, if you go into Anaruby Falls and at the parking lot, it's just a paved trail. If you go that way, got a nice long wilderness trail, and it's really nice. Well, we can just see old Gobi waiting patiently. Hopefully nobody broke in and got my toy Hess tanker truck. And I take that out and pretend like gas is under $1 a gallon again. Well, Unicoi To Helen done. Nice trail. Beginner trail, but it's got some personality. You're in and out of the creek bottom. You got that zigzag up along the side slope, which is nice. But I still think it's a good beginner trail. Would have liked to have done more mileage, but really coming out of all those days of rain, I had to ease into it maybe a little bit, but it was still nice, very nice. But yeah, we're done. Let's get out of here. Maybe find something to eat. I don't know, maybe just a snack. We'll see.